A lot of us have heard about ring dips. They're not a super niche exercise in the calisthenics world, and I think a lot of us have heard of the benefits they have from channels like Fitness FAQs or Alex Leonidas. But in this video, I'll aim to provide some unique information that you might not be aware of that makes the ring dip a uniquely effective chest, shoulder and tricep movement. I'll start with some important information that you might have heard before, and as the video goes on, I'll go into the benefits that aren't discussed quite as much. First benefit. The first benefit that I have to mention is the fact that your hands can move freely. You can place the straps in whatever position feels best for you, whether this is to target specific muscles, like going wide to get less triceps and more chest, or just moving them to a position that allows you to work out pain-free. Many people struggle to do bar dips, or even bench press without experiencing shoulder pain, but they can do ring dips or push-ups no problem. The fact that they're so joint friendly and comfortable makes them really enjoyable, and there's a high likelihood that you'll just click with them. Have you ever tried a movement and it just didn't feel right, so you persevere with it for weeks or even months, but it just always felt crap? That's not likely to happen with ring dips. Their joint friendly nature also means that you're less likely to get injured from them, and less injury means more gains in the long run. So if you're someone who struggled with injuries plaguing you in the past, maybe give them a go. Second benefit. It's not mandatory or even completely necessary, but performing your dips with the rings turned out at the top will strengthen your rotator cuff and bicep tendons like nothing else. And whilst yes, this might take away a couple of percentage points from the hypertrophy of your pressing muscles, and a science-based lifter might suggest you do external rotations on the side, how many of us actually do that? And the ones that do, are you actually putting any effort into it and seeing progress? If you don't have the luxury of being able to do 2-hour workouts, I see the RTO position as a huge bonus, and I recommend performing ring dips with RTO and without. RTO also means your bicep will be isometrically contracting in a stretched position, and over time this will make your bicep tendons like steel cables. Gym bros know that feeling at the bottom of a curl when you lock out your arms. It feels scary, unfamiliar, and even a bit dangerous. That's because no gym bro ever puts their bicep in that position. Get comfortable with the RTO position and this will be no problem for you. It doesn't mean you have to fully lock out on a curl, especially if you have hypermobile elbows, but if you do, maybe accidentally, if you've been doing your ring dips, you'll have stronger, more prepared tendons. Third benefit. The next benefit I have to mention is abduction. Ring dips heavily emphasize humeral abduction, which is the main function of the chest, and surprisingly it's something that a lot of the most popular chest exercises don't focus on too much. Abduction in this case just means bringing your elbows together. So in a regular dip, for example, your hands will limit this as they're stationary, but in a ring dip, especially a Bulgarian ring dip or an RTO dip, you can put your chest through a full stretch and squeeze. Fourth benefit. This carries on to the fourth benefit that I see, which is the potential for a huge range of motion. The maneuverability of the rings means that you can reach the absolute maximum range of motion possible for your build, which a lot of other popular exercises again lack. Once you have the necessary mobility, and practicing ring dips will develop this, so there's no requirement for additional stretching, you'll be able to start the movement with your shoulders protracted and arms locked, and at the end of it touching your biceps to the rings. Fifth benefit. The fifth benefit I've gone for, and we're hopefully getting to the things that some of you won't be aware of yet, is the use of the pec minor and serratus muscles. Both these muscles are worked heavily through this movement, and it's worth noting that they're some of the most ignored and underdeveloped muscles by bodybuilders, even though the serratus especially can have a big impact on the aesthetics of your core, Frank Zane being a prime example. Building the serratus is a very effective way to add detail to your midsection without any risk of growing your waist, which a lot of people are worried about when it comes to training your core. Regarding the pec minor, I'll let the late great John Meadows explain its importance and function, because he does it far better than I would.
A little muscle called your pec minor. It actually originates at your third, fourth, and fifth rib, and it actually travels kind of back and attaches to your coracoid process that's on your scapula. Now, the function of the muscle is pretty unique, so it depresses your scapula. If you think about the muscle, it's underneath here, and it's going back, your scapula. So it's kind of the opposite of this. Like your rhomboids and your traps do this does the opposite, this does this.
Include ring dips in your program, and you can grow these undertrained muscles without even thinking about them. Sixth benefit. The sixth benefit is simply that the resistance profile is difficult through the entire movement, meaning the chest, shoulders and triceps are challenged through the entire range of motion. The stretch is still the most difficult part of the movement, but you can't just rest at the top, because the chest will be working intensely the entire time. Because of this, as well as the deep range of motion and the emphasis on humeral abduction, many people report the best chest activation they've ever felt, and personally, my greatest chest pumps have definitely been from ring dips. I think this can be very useful if you're someone who just can't seem to connect with their chest at all and you feel like you're missing out. 7th benefit. Next benefit, and it's not even the last one, is that the carryover of ring dips to other pressing movements is huge. Improve your ring dip and you can expect your regular dips, push-up variations, bench press, dumbbell bench press, and cable presses to follow. The fact that the ring dip doesn't neglect range of motion or stability and it challenges the chest through its full range of motion means that it will carry over excellently to the majority of horizontal pressing movements. Also, if you perform in RTO dips, they'll carry over to straight arm calisthenics skills. So if you build a foundation of strength with RTO dips before learning advanced straight arm skills like the planche or iron cross, you'll have a massive advantage. 8th benefit. And yes, it is the last benefit, which is that the instability of the rings incentivizes slower reps. Not overly slow reps, but slower reps. This means no rushed reps and a consistent tempo, and that incentivizes perfect form. This doesn't mean that they force you into an exaggerated slow tempo, because as you become more proficient with ring dips, the shaking of the rings decreases dramatically, but doing fast ring dips is actually perceivably harder because you're likely to knock yourself out of balance or start swinging all over the place. Conclusion. Okay, that's every benefit I can think of. I hope this video gave you some value and you learned something new. Let us know in the comments if you know of any other benefits to ring dips, or if there's any other exercises you'd like to see a similar video about. Thanks for watching.